Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm coming to you from Dubai. And as always, I like to share transformational upgrades and information. And one of the, I think, most transformative things that I could be sharing lately is information about living in Dubai. When I was moving here, when I was researching it and really coming to understand what this city was, these kind of videos are really, really important to me. I moved here sight unseen in terms of like coming here and flying. I was like, I'm not flying here and flying, but like it's a long flight from the US. And so the videos that I watched were really, really important. And I just want to share one with all of you about Dubai. Uh, and as a transformational expert, as a psychologist, a success coach, a best-selling author and speaker, I can say that moving to Dubai is one of the most transformational things I've ever done. And the two big moves I made in my life, having lived in Northern California, uh, in the Sonoma County area where I grew up, and living in San Francisco for a chunk of years, and then also living in New York, Manhattan. I would say living in New York, living in Manhattan, and living in Dubai are the two greatest, most transformational things I have ever done in my life, especially when it comes to choosing an upgrade that's really important for people, that I think is perhaps one of the most important upgrades that people can ever do, no matter what the circumstances are, is to choose to live in a very good high vibration environment for them. Because I think most humans suffer a great degree living in a low vibration environment in whatever country they're in, because a lot of the systems of the world, and one that I grew up in, the US, appreciate it for its benefits. And I can also say that the system of the US, like many countries, isn't the highest vibration environment that somebody can be in. And I want to say about Dubai, if you're considering Dubai, whether to visit, first of all, definitely come visit. But if you're considering a move to Dubai, and I also want to speak to even more if you're considering it from the US, I want you to know that Dubai is one of the greatest, most transformational things you can ever do for yourself. And I know it's no small thing for people to decide to move to a new environment, and particularly when we are all socialized to stay in the area we grew up in. And most people live in a zip code that's like less than 5 miles away from where they grew up. And when you consider that your zip code determines your reality, and whatever the frequency of that zip code is the frequency of you and all your possibilities of life. Um, and considering that, again, we are taught, and unfortunately, we are developed and incubated in very low frequency environments. We are taught to stay in unhealthy, dysfunctional environments as a norm. We're taught that that's just the norm. We look around, everybody does it. We're taught to stay in that, in our system, the system we are brought up in, and we're taught to stay in that. Our family's typically doing that, and then we're taught to stay in the family that gets dysfunctional from being in the dysfunctional environment of a certain country, certain area, region. And out of all the transformational things I have ever learned and finally come to terms with, it is, I mean, it's so ridiculously obvious at this point, but it's like you have to get out of the matrix into a better place to be able to get more real about it. But it is, never live in an environment that is a low vibration, that is stagnant, that is too low of a vibration to bring you, allow you to be fully alive, fully functional. Um, don't stay in environments that are sick, toxic. I don't care, you know, who tells you to do so or what other people are doing, whether it's friends or just people around you or family. Being in a low frequency environment is the absolute most, I hate to say, stupid, and I will be very real, suicidal thing you can do to yourself. And the opposite is true. So, Dubai, while it has a lot of things it's going to continue to work on, and I'm very aware of it, Uh, in addition to New York, which was previously the higher frequency environment than I'd ever been in, Dubai is the most high frequency environment I've ever been in my life. And I think to a great degree that also has to do with the fact that it's outside of the US and it doesn't have the toxicity of the US. And I know it's trying to be what it's here to be, but not trying to import the toxicity of the US and the dysfunction of that system. So if you're considering Dubai, I really want to put you at ease. I want to help you just give more of a view of where I'm at. I want to help you really feel comfortable with your choices and your decision. Dubai is just a really uh, high vibration environment. And again, it's really clean, it's pure. And I'm talking about the vibration. Well, I would say the entire environment's pure. Let me correct that. But the frequency compared to everywhere else in the world that I've ever felt is the highest vibration I've ever felt in my life. Uh, it is 100% amazingly clean in how they keep it. That makes it clean in the frequency too. It is all people who are going for their dreams, want to be in high vibe reality, people who are ambitious and also even though people are programmed to think that ambitious people are not good people, twice in my life when I've lived in New York and now Dubai, these ambitious people, by virtue of them being more high frequency, are the nicest, helpful, collaborative people I have ever met. The opposite is true. When you're in a low vibration environment, a low frequency environment, which most of the world is, the people that are in your world, people that are closest to you, people in your family, people in your professional life can often be the most unhappy, unhealthy, dysfunctional people. And everybody's experiencing that because everybody is in a low frequency reality. So that's how they're going to conduct themselves. It's just the way it is. So if you're considering Dubai, I just want to say to you, from wherever you are in the world, because I studied many, many environments trying to figure out where was I going to move to, because I knew I had to get out of Northern California. And for everybody that loves it, continue on and enjoy yourself. It's not for me. California is one of the sickest environments I ever felt. Unfortunately, it's a beautiful landscape, terrible uh, environment, the way that it's run, the politics of it, the business of it. It's so low frequency. Uh, and it's like, you know, the biggest state. It's supposed to be, it could be its own country. So it had all the potential to be incredible, and it once was. But I had to leave after many years of being there just to be near my family because that zip code, that environment, all I saw, and I'll just be real, my whole entire life was miserable, unhealthy people that were dysfunctional, uh, suppressed, uh, just living Groundhog Day, day after day. And I would say that if a place like that has these kind of issues, I'm pretty positive that most places in the world that you might be living or coming from or considering leaving, moving to Dubai are struggling just as much, if not more. Um, so wherever you are, I can't imagine it being any better than the frequency of Dubai. And I don't know anywhere in the world that has the kind of growth that has happened in the last 30 years. Dubai is all growth all the time. Fast paced innovation. So instead of living in environments that are full of freaking stagnation, which makes you stagnate, which makes you slower, which shut your system down. The Dubai growth trajectory just gets you going in that pace of growth, your own self. And so for me, moving from an environment where everything was slowing me down so slow, so so freaking slow to change anything, so miserable, so bureaucratic, so political. Dubai is innovative, technological. It's really wonderful. It's focused on if there's an improvement to be made, they make it. Now, clearly, we're not living in a democratic society where, you know, I know we all get the benefits of that, and I can also keep it 100% real because I'm not here for your approval. I'm here to tell the truth. That also means change takes frickin' ever. And in Dubai, it's run by a royal family who, while royal families historically have had some issues with how they treat people, in this group, they have made everything pro entrepreneur. Uh, no tax, or now there's just small little business tax when you get to a certain amount because America, the bullies, land of the slave, home of the slave, bullies everybody into doing what they do because they don't want people to leave the US. So then they have to make Dubai unattractive. Dubai implements something, but it's a small tax that is barely noticeable. Dubai, when they want to make a change, you just make it. They're like, oh, this will be better. Let's make it. Oh, we can just send people email. We don't need to have them open snail mail. Get rid of the post office. Like, stuff just happens quickly. Oh, we want to create this new amazing thing. Let's just build it. It's full of billionaires and millionaires and tons of money. So the city just gets built by all of that without having to extract it from everybody, which is quite a revelation to feel that difference. So everybody gets to keep what they make, grow, prosper, live in a very high vibe luxury reality. It's all around you. And depending on what your situation is and what you might be able to afford, either way, you're going to be living in an environment of luxury. This is the marina little view that I've got going here in my apartment where I'm so much happier. I used to live in this 6-bedroom home. It was supposed to be this amazing area. It was so miserable. I'm now in an awesome apartment in the marina. Hardly anything I have to take care of. I'm living in an incredible building called the Vita Marina and Yacht Club. Greatest environment in the building. Like it's like all these awesome people. The residents are there, so you've got your great neighbors you see all the time, and then you've got a hotel within it, and so there are people from all over the world coming and going and meeting people from everywhere. I like that Dubai is a 90% expat environment. So I am literally meeting people from all over the world. And instead of being in the US and California, where it's like homogenous white people, same stories, same misery, same reality, groundhog reality, I'm like meeting people from everywhere that have lived in lots of different places because the US is the place where everybody just thinks they're supposed to stay where they were born and never leave it because you're taught by the U.S. system like there's no other place in the world that's better, which is completely false. It's just good salesmanship, which can be really confusing. So people never change and grow. And I just wanted to live my life as an international citizen around international citizens, and this has been a great shift for me. Um, if you were thinking of moving to Dubai, I am giving you 2 thumbs up and telling you, you have my word. This is like the greatest move you can make at this time in history. This is the place to be. Their 40 to 50-year growth plan is outstanding on every level. And all of us that are here feel like we're part of one big Dubai family that is here to grow this city into the most innovative city the world has ever seen, which is already happening. Massive amounts of opportunity, massive amounts of growth. They're building a development every 18 hours, one launches, so there's tons of places to live and invest in. Awesome different areas. The marina is my favorite. There's Jumeirah Beach area, Business Bay, DF, I see Healthcare City. I mean, there's Healthcare City. This city is also the first city that has a minister of happiness. What a revelation. All the customer service is absolutely top notch. The people are incredible. When you call in for some customer service thing, they answer right away. They take care of you immediately. They're super on it. And like all the years I had to make these calls, and I'm still cleaning that up because I'm still wrapping up my US stuff. But I had to call AT&T, you have to call the bank. Oh my God, I couldn't stand it. I was literally physically sick over it. Here you call, one of the something you need to do for customer service, one of your utilities, whatever. It's like immediately answer the phone, immediately solve the problem, make sure you're over the top happy, and then ask you if you have any feedback on their performance. This place is incredible. Here's another view. Dubai is full of amazing people. They will embrace you. They will help you. They will make sure that you do well in your transition here. I have made so many friends and connections. Everybody wants to help each other. Everybody wants to collaborate with each other. Everybody networks. Everybody's like, okay, let's sit down and have a lunch or a coffee or a drink and figure out, is there something to collaborate on? Like, they're not like trying to just, oh, it's obvious. They're like, let's just meet up and see, is there any project we can work on together? It's phenomenal. Uh, it's just an incredible place. Like, I don't think you can see it, but there's all these beautiful yachts in the marina. uh, This marina areas where people are just like coming in and out from all over the place, doing business, enjoying life. The airport's really close by, like 20 minutes away. That makes travel easy everywhere because Dubai is a hub. That was really something I wanted. So I don't like to travel an hour plus to the airport like I used to. Um, Dubai can be hot. Let me clear that up. It was my one major reservation, is that I didn't know if I could handle the 3 months of this extreme heat. And I really struggled with it. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'll I'll make it work. And I did come when that was that 3 months. And it is hotter than you think it's gonna be. But everything else about Dubai is so freaking cool. I'm like, I can adjust, I can acclimate, and that is what I've been doing, has been acclimating. It's really cool that in December it's like literally perfect weather. And at most of the year it is perfect weather, and all of the year it is incredibly sunny and beautiful. And every day I wake up with the sun, and the sun is with me out like 12 hours a day, which I really needed because I need to be in light all the time for my frequency to stay high. People look beautiful, they dress beautifully. There's people of all different levels of attractiveness, but if you'd like to look at amazingly beautiful people, they are here. Uh, yeah, they're just like in a flow. People here, they're in a flow because they all know they're in the right place. They all transcended where they lived. And when you talk to people, they're like, oh my God, here's an example. I just talked to this new friend of mine. I've met him in my building and we hadn't chatted that much. And we were chatting, and this gentleman and I, Frank, were talking about, he's like, oh my God, I had to get the F out of Germany. It was same thing, Groundhog Day. And he's like, whenever you check back in, same news, same people, same struggles, same stories. Nobody ever changes. And I'm like, that's how Northern California was. Like literally groundhog reality. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to end up this way. I got to get the F out of here. People are just happy here because they know they're in the right place. They do definitely focus on their ambition. So people hustle here, but it's not in some bad, like, it's not in some way where you're like, oh my God, everybody's hating life. They're just like, I am seizing life and going for it. There's so much opportunity in all of these industries. Uh, People are out and about, which is what I loved about living in New York, and I love it here. Because like at 11 o'clock at night, I can be out on the marina and everybody's out and enjoying life instead of sitting in front of the friggin' Netflix, like where I used to live. I'm just like, oh my God. I can't believe I spent so many years. I was like married and in one of those traps that I followed my role models and didn't realize I was getting caught in the same trap. Like I did, but I was just like, oh, no, this is just life. We're just like, you just work all day and then you just freaking watch Netflix all night and you're just bored. And then every day is the same thing. And you're just like, there's nothing like that. Nobody was interesting or stimulating or had any excitement or purpose. I'm just like, everybody's miserable. Everybody's pretending. The worst about living somewhere else, particularly where I was living, everybody's pretending that it's better than it is. You're like, and then you realize you're doing it. I'm like, it's not great here. So probably contrast to where you are, people are probably like where I was from, pretty miserable, pretty unhappy, going nowhere, not much to talk about. And for me, I was literally dying. I was like dying of emotional low frequency reality around me and connections. I was dying of no intellectual stimulation, nobody with ambition or interest or dreams, and they just sat around complaining about other people, can't talk about themselves. They all have to talk about other people. I'm like, I would I would get downgraded by being around people because they didn't have much going on. And I feel for people because they're just programmed into the system, and God bless them because they don't know any different. And even when they see people that are doing amazing things are so programmed and stuck. They're like dead inside and they can't get out. And people here have all gotten out. They've escaped that matrix. They're in this amazing place, and I totally invite you to it. Um, and I know wherever you are and you're considering this, I know too what it's like to stay somewhere way too long when you know it's not right for you. And then get so programmed in, you're like almost frozen there. I felt like I was literally Han Solo from Star Wars, like in that block where he was like frozen. I was like, oh my God, I'm in here. I'm trapped inside of this reality. And I just kept trying to swim for the surface, trying to like get myself to go and move because when you get frozen and imprisoned into a system like most people do, you don't you are so in it, you can barely make your way out of the reality. And then what these different countries do in the US is the absolute best at this, but the worst of what they do, but it's the worst thing. They program you to believe that all these other places in the world are so terrible and awful, and they just scare the shit out of you because they don't want you to leave, because they don't want you to get off of their tax system because their only strategy and their Ponzi scheme, much like other countries, but the US is the worst, is to tax you to death. They don't care if they kill you or if you're sick. They only pretend they care. And they just need you to get the money out of you to keep the entire Ponzi scheme going, which is totally collapsing. So Dubai is actually a very rich country for all the reasons you've probably heard. And then because it's full of billionaires and multimillionaires and people that are on their way there, when they want something created, they don't have to put it through government. They're just like, some billionaire will build it. We get it. They make money off of it. And amazing things happen. And that's why the last 30 years of Dubai is the fastest growth that has ever happened in human history. And what's on deck for the next 30, 40 years, it's going to be mind blowing. And now is the time to get here, to be part of this population of revolutionary people that are building Dubai into the greatest city and a role model city like the world has never seen before. And boy, do we need it because the US is not that place anymore. It is not a role model. It cannot do what it once did. And it should probably just turn its attention toward facing the reality and, doing what it needs to do instead of pretending that it's something it once was, which it's not anymore, and everybody knows it. Um, the lifestyle in Dubai is second to none. Anything and everything that you ever want is literally a push of the button and somebody shows up with it. I know that's a lot of places have that, but this is like anything and everything. Anything and everything. So on that note, I will say one of my least favorite things about it is there's just a lot of women from other countries, poor realities, poor families who are here turning some tricks, and I don't love that because it takes this beautiful place and it makes it kind of impure. But hey, these people are doing what they need to survive, and they're just escorting and doing their thing, and that's a little weird. And then yet you're also just surrounded by some of the world's most beautiful women. Uh, People are just sophisticated. They're refined. Uh, they're alive. They're living. And again, it's an international community of people from all over the world. And when you absorb that, you become a cultured person. You become a worldly international citizen yourself. And that's a beautiful frequency to have. That's my one of my favorite things about it. Dubai has so many great neighborhoods. I am partial to the marina. I can't help myself. But living downtown is beautiful. There's so many great places. There's uh Dubai Hills and just Palm Jumeirah and Palm Jebel Ali that's being built, which is going to be one of the world's greatest developments the world has ever seen. It's so early in Dubai, but it also feels like I don't want you to miss it. I want you to take this opportunity to leave wherever it is that you are that it could never compare to Dubai. If you are thinking about this, wanting it, considering it, and forget all the dumb stuff online that says that Dubai is this scary place. It's not true. It's just propaganda. Um, Greatest healthcare system. Uh, like my healthcare in California was like $1,000 a month. Ridiculous. And I never used it because I'm healthy. Um, and here it's like $1,000 a year. Everything. I mean, I will say the stuff that costs the most here that drives me nuts is the food. And because this is a sober country, they don't sell alcohol in the stores. People don't really have it in their homes. You have to have a license. Sure, you can buy it in restaurants, some of them, not all of them. But even something like that, it's like I didn't drink a lot in my life. Once I belonged to a country club, it kind of became the norm. I completely detox here. I'm basically sober, and you're just busy with all the cool things you get to do here. And I just feel clean and clear because drinking isn't just like this constant thing everybody's doing. People are just into their health, their fitness. It's not this big self medicating culture. And yet you can go out any night of the week to these amazing, amazing venues that are so creative, beautiful, luxurious, and cool. It's like unbelievable the amount of everything that is available to you. All the things that matter to me, the ballroom dance studios, the great fitness clubs, the most beautiful golf courses. It's just everywhere. And I just look forward to years and years of enjoying that, especially the more I settle in and just get myself every way, shape, or form off of the US system, which is just taking a bit of time. But when I go from a day here and then at night, because the time difference is the only time I can talk to US companies and finalize things that I have going on there, like I'm finalizing with my bank there, and you talk to them there, you feel the most awful frequency compared to Dubai. It like makes me sick. And I always knew that where I lived was on a sick frequency, but when you are in a healthy one, you notice it, it'll blow your mind, people. I will also say about Dubai, one of the things that everybody does need to know is that there is a little bit of a shady side to it, in addition to this, ladies of the night kind of thing. People here do really mean well, and there's so many professional, well-intended people. And there are also some that will take advantage of you and are so good at their acting job that you cannot tell the difference. And that you have to be a little bit on guard for because I mean, this is like full of the world's like most savvy people here. Uh, and I don't like that. I don't like that element's here, but that's not what Dubai is really all about. And I hope to see the royal family crack down more of that because I think one of the coolest things they have here is law and order. People know if they do bad shit here, the smackdown is coming and it is not a joke. I love how that keeps people in line. You can literally leave your purse, computer, and phone on a table and leave it sitting on a table outside where people are walking by hours and hours and still be there. Super safe. They don't mess around. If you do something wrong here, it's not going to go well for you. And it just keeps you in line, keeps people in line. It's like a very, like swaddling you in a safe container. It's truly a safe place. And yet, on that kind of business dealing level, you do have to watch because people, if they think you're naive, they will do some taking. Um, Anything else I want to share with you guys? Think for a sec. Dubai, Dubai, Dubai. Dubai is the most transformative place I can imagine. I feel like an ambassador, so I hope that you all. It'll transform you on every level. And if you need any help or support on it, just make comments and I'll answer your questions. I'm going to continue to make more content about dealing with the different aspects of moving here and being here. Because you got to go through certain steps. You got to get a visa, become a resident. I did that through having a business, creating a business here. I've got a transformative coaching company, so it was easy for me to do that. There's several steps to go through to get here, and I'll tell you that it's absolutely worth it. You will build up a tribe of amazing people here. I mean, people that are just so awesome that I have as friends now in my life. And what's fun is it's intergenerational. It's not like you only mix with your age people. It's like everybody is so blended, the different generations. So cool. School systems are amazing here. And this is the beginning. Everything is just getting top notch. And it's just the beginning of the Dubai reign over reality as the greatest city in the world. And as a total New Yorker who, even though I was born and raised in California and lived there for a long time, I thought I lived in New York. I thought it was the greatest city in the world. And it really, really is that. And yet Dubai is another world. It feels multidimensional. It's like almost intergalactic. It is a future city taking us into the future in a way that you're in a completely different world than all these other places that are in like 1975. I talked to Chase Bank in the US. They were like, can you fax me this? I'm like, what are we doing? We're faxing? It's almost 2025. What are we doing? Everything here, electronic and, technological, top level. And yet it is still a budding city. It needs people to come build it, be the big contributors, be the top influencers. Dubai wants to become the next Hollywood. It wants to just, it's just here to become the dream city that everybody has really been looking for in their life. And so that happens because people like you will be coming here and helping all of us create this amazing city so that people from all over the world have somewhere amazing to go because it has become the top tourist destination in the world, where something like the Dubai Mall is literally the top tourist sight in the world. It's kind of fascinating and it's pretty epic. Everything here is done on the top, most amazing creative luxury level. And yet I find it very affordable. And yet I lived in two of the most expensive places in the world, New York and California. So this is like less than that to me. Again, I don't love that the food prices are what they are, but I think that's all over the world. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And it has to do with the inflating of the fiat currency in other places. But uh, housing is cheaper than where I was from, California, New York. Um, there are just these incredible buildings full of community. And I really think that the way our world is going to be going is instead of these homes where everybody's all separated and isolated, even though those exist and there's amazing communities here that are not high rises, I just love a building full of awesome people that all are in community together, growing, learning, living life. And yet there's awesome, like track, like estate kind of communities and track communities. Everything. You have everything here. I will add in because I was just looking at the traffic. Traffic, not ideal. And they have a plan for that, which is awesome. Uh, do you need a car here? I had that question. I kept left my car in California, kept trying to figure it out. I was going to ship it. I wasn't. I was. Ultimately, it's like, I don't need a car here. But this is a car city. Everybody has these cars. I like not having one because I can literally, through a click of an app, have a cab to me in 3 minutes. And it's just a lifestyle that works for me, but there's massive amount of cars on the road. So if you don't want a car, just to answer the question, you don't need a car here. It took me a while to just accept. I'm like, I am so much happier without freaking managing a car and the maintenance and all that crap. Um, Thing else, I just think Dubai is amazing. And as they say, Habibi, which means come to Dubai. Feel free to put comments in that you've got about Dubai, questions you have. Happy to support your transformation and your transition here. If there's any other questions you have, videos you want me to make about aspects of Dubai, feel free to comment and touch base. And just thanks for tuning in, learning about Dubai, being interested in transforming yourself in your life by moving here. And, if you do make that decision, just absolutely know you're making the greatest decision of your life. And if you decide not to, do whatever you can in your life to be as transformational as you can be, because there's so much you can do from wherever you are in the world. And if you can come to Dubai, great. If you can't, just think about all the ways you can transform your life and really go for it so you can live your ultimate reality. All right, everyone, this is another video about upgrading your life, transforming, and today it's been just all about Dubai. I'm so grateful for you to tune in. It would be amazing for you to subscribe, share this video with anyone else that you think needs it. I'm happy to support all of you on your trajectory, and it'd be great to receive your support too. So I can carry on with my contribution to humanity with making this content for you and helping you live your ultimate reality. All right, everyone. Love from Dubai. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Take care.